Okay, all right. So looks like a trade is coming. Because according to Stefan Bondy, he says people around the league expecting the Knicks to make a move to have space to keep Brogdon and either Shamet or Matthews. A trade is coming. So there you go. According to Stefan Bondy of the New York Post, Knicks are expected to make a move to keep Brogdon and or Shamet and Matthews. Obviously, right now, it's got to be Brogdon and Shamet. So that means does Pacome Dadiet get traded? Does Tyler Kolek get traded to free up some cap space? Stay tuned. But as I said, man, if you're comparing last year to this year, for the Knicks to be able to turn that bench from Deuce, Payne, Precious Achua, Shamet, then you brought in like your Delon Wright, you had your Jericho Sims of the world, and then you have Deuce, Clarkson, Yabusele, Brogdon, maybe Josh Hart or Mitch. The bench is 10 times better. So this team is going for it. It's money time. Let's go. Yeah, if it came down to the two, I'm trading Kolek. I'm not trading Dadiet. All right, let's check in with our guy, Yossi Gozlan. Yossi, you in the building? Check one, check two?
Yep. You guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear, man. We got you live and direct on the KFTV hotline here. Yossi Gozlan, our resident capologist who's doing the damn thing. He had a major offseason. You can check him out, the Third Apron newsletter. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Yossi, how you feeling on this Friday, man?
I'm feeling all right. We got another year of this second apron hard cap dance for the Knicks, and I enjoyed it last year, and it looks like we're having round 2 of this.
Yeah. So, what do you think the Brogdon move, Shamet yesterday, along with Matthews, and now Stefan Bondy saying that the Knicks are gonna make a trade here to bring in both of these guys.
So for most of the offseason, the prevailing expectation has been, with the Knicks hard cap situation, they're only going to roster 3 veteran minimums. That includes Clarkson, who was already signed. Who else did they just?
Yabusele.
My mind's. Yeah. They signed. They're going to sign Clarkson, and then whoever, they'd have room for one more.
Yes.
That'd be their 13th guy.
Yeah.
And then they would sign one more rookie minimum guy, who'd be most likely Mohamed Diawara. I would think that's going to happen. Now the Knicks made a surprising move. They signed, along with Shamet, who's probably going to return to the team, Brogdon as well. And I think that there's an expectation with his pedigree that they'll want to keep him on the roster. They're going to have to make a move to make him, to keep him on the roster, because the second apron hard cap that they're constricted by. I would suspect it's probably one of Dadiet or Kolek that would get moved. You move one of those guys, you can then replace them with that veteran minimum salary to have Brogdon or Shamet, both of those guys, basically. I would imagine the Knicks would rather trade Dadiet, mainly because he's got a bigger salary than Kolek. Kolek makes below the minimum, while Dadiet is making almost $3 million. That's above the veteran minimum. So when you replace Dadiet's salary with a veteran minimum salary, that's like an additional that's like $500,000-$600,000 in apron space. So that allows the Knicks then to sign a 15th guy even sooner into the season than what the original plan was. I don't know what the dates are, but I would think with the original plan, they were going to have something like maybe 200,000 below the second apron, which means they probably wouldn't be able to sign anybody until like the very end of the season.
Right.
If they do Dadiet and replace him with the veteran minimum slot, then they'd be like 700,000, which I think is maybe like kind of like last year. Then in March, you can start. I haven't actually checked it. But it might be earlier. It's definitely a little earlier. Maybe January. I don't know.
No, I totally
probably January, because then you can do what's it called, 10-day contracts, and that's what they did last year. They gave PJ Tucker some 10-day contracts.
Let's break that down, just to remind people what you mean here, because remember, at any stretch of how they do this, they're going to have about 14 going into the season, right? 14 of the 15 roster spots. But what you're saying is if they're able to move Pacome Dadiet, they will have enough cushion under that second apron to sign somebody maybe a little bit earlier in the season to that 15th spot if they need to do so, correct?
Correct. And just based on last season, it's probably going to be January 5th, I think is the first day you can sign 10-day contracts. So they'll have a lot more flexibility to just dive into that. Those are just, like a fraction of a fully guaranteed, a rest of season contract. So they could try out several guys. Yeah, they could just try out a couple different players, see who they'd want to fill in that 15th spot permanently.
Yeah, there you go, man. So very interesting. And then if they traded Kolek, which would give you a little bit less relief, then they might have to wait later in the season to sign someone as that prorated number comes back to where they can afford it.
Yeah, they'd actually be losing apron space versus the original plan because that veteran minimum salary is a little more than Kolek's salary.
That's tough, man. Dadiet, I mean, listen, the reason why they drafted Dadiet was to save some money, right? But even still, at his position and his potential, I'd rather keep it. They just made a investment signing Billy Lang to run their player development. Then we're looking at the prospect of losing your top young player. Maybe, right? Maybe they trade Kolek, but if they trade Dadiet, that'd be tough.
So with Dadiet, remember last year the Knicks signed him to a contract where he got a little less than the maximum he can get on his rookie scale contract, but that was only for the first year, and then the rest of the contract normal. So he went from making like something very little, like under $2 million this year, and now he's making just under $3 million. And with the Knicks situation, like every $10,000 matters with this hard cap that they have. Thankfully, when they signed Gershon Yabusele, he even took slightly less than the full mid-level exception. It was like $200,000 less, just so they can have a little bit of, just be in this position they are now where they can the guy a little earlier into the season. So we'll see how it ends up shaking out, but it does seem like if you're going to sign two players like Shamet and Brogdon, players of their stature, the expectation does seem to be that they'll do something to keep both those guys.
Wow. Very interesting. But as I was saying before you got here, look, for them to be able to turn that bench from the Paynes, Shamet, and Preciouses of the world and turn this into Clarkson, Yabusele, Brogdon, and Shamet, the bench got a lot stronger, man.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. I listened to some of the points you were making about the Knicks bench. A lot of guards, same thing like last year, guard heavy. Very hard to get wing players at the minimum. Not really any players in their budget they can reasonably even trade for. Right. And then those that are maybe out there, they probably can't afford with whatever draft picks they have left. They could mainly only trade second-round picks. So yeah, it'll just be this kind of like super mini bench lineup again where they're with Brogdon and Shamet, at least. Like Brogdon, he's been more of like last year he shot terribly, but like in the preceding years he was kind of more like a specialist, like a 3-point specialist, kind of in the way you might think of Shamet. So if he can get his 3-point shooting back to that form, then at least he's got that going for him. But there's a lot of overlap between Brogdon, Shamet, Clarkson. Clarkson kind of taking the campaign role, and now you're adding Brogdon to the mix, and that's before even talking about Kolek. I'm a little worried about how he's gonna get minutes. Like that was something. The lack of playing time for young players was something that was an issue with Thibodeau. Is he gonna even get to play, get any developmental minutes at this point? I would guess at this point probably not with that crowded backcourt, but the Knicks just getting who they can. They're getting the best players out there available. Yeah. With Brogdon, I think it's mostly health. As long as he's healthy, he should be fine. Shamet too. Health has been a big issue with him. So they can't really. The Knicks are just getting who they can. It's not the best fits, but they don't really have much other choice. Don't really have much choice, man. They're basically bargain basement hunting right now. So I think this is the best that they can do. I'm a little bit leery of sacrificing some future potential
But hey, when you're trying to win a championship, I gotta trust Leon and his process there. So we'll see, because people in the chat, some people are disagreeing, saying we need the wing depth. I'm a wing guy. We definitely need it. That's why I want to keep a guy like a Dadiet here. He can get some minutes here with this rotation, but it's tough, as you say. This is down really nickel and diamond right now.
I mean, if they trade Dadiet, I think that just an indictment that they probably think he can't play. So I think they're just deciding, hey, like, we think these two guys that we're bringing in will be better contributors this year. Yeah. Again, we'll see. All speculation at this point. We'll see how it plays out.
We'll see. And hey, look, they'll have a draft pick going into this draft. Do they look into the future and say, hey, we get another guy, we get another wing, we reset his rookie table and contract? We'll see what happens, man. Will from LI. Will, how you doing?
Hey, CP, how you doing, man?
Good, man. What's good? Yeah, loud and clear. You good, G?
Awesome, man. Oh, my goodness. Breaking news. And this is why we come to the best show for the fans by the fans. Oh, my goodness. I had my whole take ready to go. Oh, look, let's go with the original take. If you told me I had to choose between Shamet and Brogdon, and I will completely agree that this is pure off emotions, I'm going with Shamet. I think Shamet's a dog. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget, he had a dislocated shoulder. Last year? Was it preseason or early on in the season?
Yeah.
Rehab, came back in the mix of us in a playoff run against Indiana, just to come back on the team in general, played through all of that. And then he was still in there shooting threes. He got in with the system. You've already heard from the team that they love to play with him. I heard rumors, and I don't know if this came from Stefan Bondy or you, but that he had other offers from other teams.
Yeah, Ian Begley had said that. Ian Begley had said that.
Yeah, to Ian Begley. Shout out to Ian Begley. He had offers from other teams, and he didn't want to go to those teams because he wanted to be a New York Knick. For me, when you're hearing things about Ben Simmons not even wanting to thinks he wants to play anymore, I hold that into consideration. So for me personally, off of continuity, off the fact that I think that he's tough, off the fact that I think that he's flexible like a Swiss Army knife, I'm going with Shamet. Now, if you're gonna tell me strategically, we do need a point of need, which is a point guard, and Brogdon can fulfill that need. So if you want to do it strategically, I guess I see, in the chat, everybody picked Brogdon. Makes a lot of sense. But for me, I'm going with Shamet. Now, off of the information you just gave, I'm 100% content with letting go of Tyler the Creator. Hey, Tyler the Creator, it's been real. It's really been real. Okay. But I'm not getting rid of Pacome Dadiet. I'm not doing it. No. So, I'm not doing it. I just feel like guys at his length, with his skill set, that can shoot, that can slash, the potential there, and he's so young, I'm gonna go with Tyler Kolek, and if we just need a backup point, let's go with the veteran route. But CP, thanks for the show. I'm gonna let you get back to that. But yeah, I'm here for Shamet between the two.